So, we have been talking about the analysis of the short story War. Now, I want to continue by analyze one art, which is the poem that I've chosen. Before actually getting into the whole poem, I want us to first understand the background of the author because this is a very important part of the poem because it somehow suggests the ideas of the poem. By understanding the background, we can somehow um, easier for us to understand the poem. So Elizabeth Bishop is an American poet. She was born in 1911 and she passed away in 1979. Her father passed away when she was only like 8 years old, 8 months old actually. Her mother suffered a series of breakdown after her father passed away, and she had to stay at a mental hospital. She's in and out for a while, and finally staying at the hospital permanently. At the age of 5, Bishop moved to Massachusetts. Oh, she moved from the Massachusetts, United States, to Nova Scotia in Canada to live with her mom's family. And she has a good life there. As in many other poems, she said that Nova Scotia is one of her like real home, one of her identity. After a few years, she moved back to the United States and stayed with her dad's side, her dad's family, in a large, but in her opinion, is loveless house. In her mature years, after moving to Brazil and living with her partner for 17 years, almost 2 decades, her partner suffered from a mental breakdown and ultimately committed suicide. We can see that her life is full of loss. That's why her poem One Arts explore this whole journey of losing things or losing someone or losing a place. One Arts was written in 1976 near the end of her life. It can be seen as a summary of her life, which is filled with loss and hardships. In One Arts, she gives us an insight into how the art of losing can be both easy and difficult to master. The first stanza that started by the art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. She opened the poem by a very common conversational poem tone. Sorry. The tone indicates that losing something or even someone is not so big of a deal. It's not a big challenge that you can just overcome easily. It's very interesting how she called this an art because, as you know, art sometimes is a talent, but most of the time it's a skill that you can practice over and over again to be good at it. So for Bishop, she believes that the art, the losing part, it's just a art. It's just an art that you can just practice, and over time you're gonna be good at it. You're gonna become the master of it. Despite many people suffering from loss, her rationally believed that many things are destined to be lost. And the loss is no disaster. It's not a big deal. It's okay. She sounds confident distance and detach, as though she has mastered the art of losing. But by exploring this more, we'll see if she actually is a master in this kind of field or not. The second stanza, she continued, lose something every day, accept the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing isn't hard to master. She still have a very calm and conversational tone, but this time it's more like an instructional tone. She introduced the idea that loss can be practiced, as if like you prepare for a bigger loss in the future by accepting the small in not important things in life. The word fluster means anger, angry. It is important because it's just a very small minor emotional disturbance, but it's not so big of a deal. It's not a devastation. It's okay and you can move on from that pretty quick. The word choice contributes to the poem's effort to minimize the effort, the emotional weight of the loss. No big deal, it's totally normal. The hour badly spent introduced this time it's a little bit more of regret, but not too big of a problem. But the small, very small, the idea of regret is very small of emotional express, gotta be pronounced even more further later in the poem. Then practice losing farther, losing faster, places and names, and where it was you meant to travel. None of these will bring disaster. The transformation from like of some everyday and tangible things to more personal and abstract things show that she had lost more than just door keys, more than just how badly spent. She lost the places that she went through. She forgot their name. She even forgot her dream. She forgot the opportunities that she should have received, and maybe should have went on so many adventures, but she missed all of them. She lost them all. However, even though the loss getting bigger, she still keeps a very calm and rational tone. Like it's not a big deal for her. The last sentence in this stanza is phrased differently from the first two. This is perhaps a way to show that her emotional suppression is start to release a bit. In order to convince her readers and herself that she has mastered the art of losing, she still have a tone of like everything is alright, there's nothing so bad about it, and can just handle it one by one, not so big of a problem. I lost my mother's watch, and look, my last, or next to last, of three loved houses went. The art of losing isn't hard to master. These losses are becoming huge, very important. She lost her mom at a very young age, and her mom's watch is one of the only thing that she keep in order to remember her, in order to have some kind of memory and love and perhaps inheritance. The mention of three loved house, three love houses reflect that it's not just a physical space, it's a loss of homes, of stability. And because she's an orphan from a very young age, she has to move from display to display to display over and over again. The face last or next to last adds a tone of uncertainty. She does not know if there's any other loss that's gonna come to her. But she seemed to very numb about it. She doesn't feel so many things about that. It's just for her. It's just something that was meant to last. She continued. I lost two cities, lovely ones, and vaster, some realms I own, two rivers, a continent. I missed them, but it wasn't a disaster. Lovely cities imply places filled with personal meaning, beauty, memory, identity, and she lost them twice. Two lovely cities. And the scale of loss intensified dramatically here because the speaker moves from cities to entire rivers, a continent, possibly metaphorically, or maybe it's literally mean that because she moved from the United States, from America to, you know, another place that in another continent. Maybe it's metaphorical, symbolizing a huge emotional and or existential territory. The phrase that I miss them isn't new and revealing. It's a rare moment of, you know, emotional honesty, breaking the poem's control tone. It acknowledges grief, yet the speaker still insists that, almost defensively, that it wasn't a disaster. And then she continued, even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love. I should have lied. It's evident the art of losing is not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, like a disaster. The last stanza is my favorite part throughout the whole poem. It's an emotional breaking point. At the very beginning, we have a little dash. For me, it's a foreshadow of the shift in tone that this stanza will feel different, and it's show that it's the climax of loss. Like after everything that she has lost, this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest loss that she had to suffer. And even though there's no indication of who that you in the poem is, we can tell evidently that you must play a crucial role in the author's life because you can feel that the author feel hurt when she lost that you. The joking void, the gesture I love suggests that it's a private aside, a thought within her that when she remember about this you, she cannot resist but remember of the things that she loved about that person. The tone is so heartbroken and different. It's so different from other stanzas. Other stanzas direct, cold, sometimes like calm, a little bit of feelings but not too much. this stanza is full of emotion. I shan't fly is an ironic sentence because even though she has said she was lying, it's clear that she has been lying the entire time, the entire poem, that she that the art of losing isn't hard to master. And but by at the end, when she tried to confirm that again, that art of losing is not so hard to master, this time she added two words that are very powerful. Two word write it. This means that she exposed herself to the readers, that even after so many losses, she lost a continent, a river, the badly outspent, door keys, her identity. She lost so many things. But after all of that, she still cannot detach herself from the pain of losing that one important person in her life. So important that everything combined together cannot be as painful as this loss. The author was trapped in her rationality as she hoped that by doing this, her emotion would be suppressed and she wouldn't have to suffer from her heartbreak anymore. She did not realize that despite using her reason to convince herself that losing is essential and normal in life, she would always encounter her feelings somewhere down the line. She cannot run away from it. It's impossible to run away. So that is the end of the analysis. I hope it's not too long, but feel like it's a bit too long. Anyways, I'm gonna move on with my last part is the visual component. So because I'm not sure how to do the record the visual part, my visual component, and have my face at the same time, so I'm just gonna do my summary or introduction of my visual component first, and then I'm gonna record my visual component with explanation, but I might not be able to show my face, so I hope that's okay. So, just a random introduction. So, emotions and rationality are two sides of a story. Sometimes it seems like they cannot be mixed. The traveler who loses his son to the battlefield tries to reason through his pain and is convinced that his son's death should be his pride. However, at the end of the story, his heart still breaks as if all the reasons are powerless. Or like Elizabeth Bishop, who lost almost everything she had in her life, and at some point she learned herself to believe that she had understood, she has mastered how to stop the agony that she'd lost when she lost anything that important. But in the end, both the traveler and Bishop discovered the same truth, that it doesn't matter how much they try to rationalize grief, the heart still refuses to be silenced. So when you see my visual component, you're gonna see two main colors, black and white. Black represents logical thoughts and philosophical arguments. White, on the other hand, represents feelings, emotion, and expressions. And also, you're gonna see the curtain. It's a symbol for a moment of realization that I already mentioned at the very beginning when I talk about thematic connection. The human, you'll see two human, but they're actually one. It's just two different versions of them. And then we have the mix of black and white. It's not like sometimes it's, for example, in the room. black room, the human is the white, and in the white room, the human is black. And it suggests that where rationality is seen, emotion occur, and likewise. So that is it for my presentation for now. I'm gonna continue record my um, visual component in a different video clips because this is a bit too long. I don't want to go any further, and I can find a way to fit it in. So thank you for listening. I hope that you somehow enjoy my presentation, and thank you so much.